Hey, it's your guy Tyrrell back with the interviews. In today's video, we're going to briefly analyze how Benzema played a key role in Real Madrid's 3-1 win over Eibar. When we break down the game and we do look at the board, we have Eibar in more of a 4-4-2 and Real Madrid starting the game in a 4-3-3. The key tactical theme in this game was how Eibar would look to press Real Madrid and how Zidane's men would be able to overcome it. When you look at Eibar's initial setup, what you end up seeing is that they do have Muto and Kike Garcia stepping into the path of Varane and Sergio Ramos. But for instance, if you had Muto stepping in towards Varane, then you would have Kike Garcia sitting on Casemiro and vice versa. Inui and Hill would step into Ferland Mendy and Carvajal, and that meant that Diop and Exposito would be tasked with dealing with Toni Kroos and Luka Modric. In the earlier stages of that game, we did see Toni Kroos looking to drop into an inside left position to evade pressure to get on the ball. And what we saw there was Inui stepping in towards his path, and that meant that even if Mendy was free, Diop could step into him, and then Pozo would track the movement of Rodrigo. But in those earlier stages, when Real Madrid were dominant, it stemmed through Luka Modric and Benzema, specifically Benzema, who was able to drop off deeper to help ensure that Real Madrid could bypass that press and link play with his teammates, and on top of that, he was able to provide a legitimate goal scoring threat. In the build-up to Madrid's opener, you have Kroos in that inside left position, splitting Kike Garcia and Diop to find Modric in a pocket of space, which forces Arbia to step forward. When Modric slides the ball across Arbia to Rodrigo, it's the Croatian's forward run that's pivotal here, as he drags the Eibar center back out of position to create space for Rodrigo to cut central and Benzema to peel off Vazquez towards the box. When Rodrigo dribbles across Pozo, he has Benzema's run off Vazquez's shoulder towards the box as his best passing option, given Rodriguez's failure to tuck in and close the large gap of space, and Rodrigo clips the ball over Vazquez for Benzema's run into the Eibar box, which results in Real Madrid's opening goal. Shortly after that, we witness Kroos' switch of play diagonal ball to Lucas Vazquez that pulls out Rodriguez, but with Carvajal in an advanced position occupying Vazquez, Benzema is free to dart into space behind the Eibar left back to create a 2v1 overload. Lucas Vazquez slides the ball across Rodriguez for Benzema in the right channel, which pulls out Vazquez, but we also witness Lucas Vazquez continuing his run into right half space beyond Rodriguez. Benzema, however, plays a loose short pass across Vazquez that was intended for Lucas Vazquez in right half space, but Rodriguez was able to track back and regain possession. However, it was Vazquez's persistence that led to him instantly pressing Rodriguez to regain possession towards the byline, and that resulted in Benzema being able to dribble around Rodriguez to the byline, and that's where you see an unmarked Modric making a late run towards the box. Benzema pulls the ball back to the edge of the box to find an unmarked Modric, and his first-time effort on goal doubled Real Madrid's lead. If we look to another example, as Mendy begins to dribble towards Pozo, we have Benzema calling for the ball as he begins to make a run into the Rodriguez-Vazquez gap, while Lucas Vazquez is also demanding the ball from an inside right position ahead of the box. When Mendy opts to switch play out to Vazquez, that's when Modric decides to charge into right half space beyond Rodriguez to create a 2v1 and enable Vazquez to cut central to play the ball across Exposito for Benzema. Benzema instantly slides Vazquez's pass out to Modric in right half space, which attracts late recovery pressure from Hill, but it also witnesses Benzema making a run off Diop into the Arbia Pozo gap at the back post. Modric shifts away from Hill's pressure towards the edge of the box, and he picks out Benzema's movement towards the back post between the Pozo and Arbia gap, but when Modric plays that ball to Benzema unmarked around that 6-yard box, he nods his opportunity wide of the net. Madrid's dominance in the opening 20 minutes did result in Eibar providing an improved press, and what we ended up seeing were different models of how they were looking to stop Madrid from building out of the back. Initially, we see Toni Kroos splitting the center backs on the ball to create a 3v2, but Eibar has their central forwards retreating, and they're able to build a hexagonal shape around Casemiro with Modric and Rodrigo occupying occupying the fullbacks. As the half continued, we witnessed Casemiro often dropping in between the center backs to split them so that the fullbacks could push forward. And in this example, you have Kike sitting on Casemiro with Muto pushing to Sergio Ramos and Hill stepping towards Varane to make it a 3v3 from the front. Madrid's attempt to overcome that 3v3 was to play the ball into Courtois, but we witnessed Kike Garcia stepping into the path of the Belgian goalkeeper, but blocking off the passing lane into Casemiro as Hill stepped into the path of Varane and Muto stuck on Ramos. And when Hill swarmed Varane, you could see Exposito pushing forward into the path of Carvajal, who tried to shift into the midfield zone to regain possession. However, while Eibar's pressure did improve when they fell behind, we can look to an example towards the end of the first half where Varane's headed clearance fell towards the halfway circle, and you witness Benzema dropping deeper to drag out and nudge Arbia away from the ball so it could fall to Toni Kroos. That enables Kroos to nod the loose ball into the chest of Benzema, who identifies Lucas Vazquez's run into the large gap between Rodriguez and Bigas. As you could see now, Benzema's pass plays Vazquez free on goal ahead of the on-rushing Dimitrovic, but what happens next is that Lucas Vazquez does direct his shot beyond the keeper, but Bigas does well to track back and make a sliding intervention to deny Real Madrid a third goal. Even when we look to the second half, although Benzema continued to do well to link play and drag out defenders, as you could see here he pulls out Bigas, when he links play with Modric pushing forward, Modric does well to break into Eibar's half, but his second touch lets him down and it allows Arbia to come across to regain possession. If we look to another example, it's Carvajal being closed down by Hill, and he ends up splitting Rodriguez and Exposito for Benzema once again pulling out Bigas into Madrid's half. Benzema does well to drop the ball off to Vazquez, and he spins off Bigas into the right channel for a potential return pass to ignite a Real Madrid break. Vazquez, however, backheels a loose ball into Carvajal that Kike Garcia steps into to halt any chance of a break down the right channel for Benzema. We could look to another example where Rodrigo receives Ramos's knotted clearance between Diop and Inui and instantly pokes the ball to Benzema, dropping off both center backs as Rodrigo continues to push forward. Benzema first time stabs Rodrigo's pass between Arbia and Pozo, and we see Rodrigo running off the Eibar right back. Unfortunately for Zidane, while Benzema's link-up play did set Rodrigo free towards the Eibar box, Pozo diligently tracked the Real Madrid wide player to force a pass back to Kroos. Nevertheless, it was still Benzema who had a key part in Real Madrid killing off the game. In the build-up to Madrid's third goal, Casemiro's switch of play creates a Vazquez and Benzema 2v1 overload against Rodriguez. At that moment, Benzema wants a pass from Vazquez to break free down that right channel, but since he doesn't get it, he ends up shifting laterally towards the right channel, and Vazquez ends up dropping off the ball to the Real Madrid striker, and he begins to run off Rodriguez's shoulder while Sergio Alvarez attempts to apply pressure. Benzema ends up poking the ball across both Sergio Alvarez and Rodriguez to place Lucas Vazquez into right half space to score Real Madrid's third goal to secure all 3 points. Hi everybody, thanks for watching and subscribe here for your latest tactical analysis and daily commentary on the InnerViews show. And if that wasn't enough, don't forget you could find more organic, unfiltered soccer/football analysis on the InnerViews podcast, the best soccer/football podcast in the world, available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Spreaker, and any Android apps on your Android devices.